Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened is a complete overhaul mod project for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The project has been in development for over 5 years by a small group of highly passionate mod creators. The developers originally intended to create a direct remake of Activision's Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which was released in the year 2000. However, after Activision's business development head turned down their proposal in mid-2024, the team pivoted towards reinterpreting Redemption's canonical story events. By that point in 2024, they had spent nearly 3 years establishing the groundwork for a Vampire the Masquerade CRPG mod built within the Skyrim engine. The team deserves great praise for swiftly shifting direction to protect the project from potential cease and desist action. So to summarize, there are 2 projects in development. The mod that reinterprets the canonical elements of Activision's Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. That mod is called Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened, where you will play as a predefined character with RPG systems. The second project is called Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles, which will feature individual small stories with RPG systems and a character creator. Much like Total Overhaul mods such as Sure AI's Nerim and Enderal, both projects fundamentally reshape the core experience of Skyrim. Almost every gameplay mechanic, from character progression, perk trees, and economy to combat animations, will be thoroughly revamped. And yes, you will have to start a new character to play these mods. In this game, you will play as Christophe Romuald, a 12th century French crusader who was killed and revived as a vampire. The game depicts his long journey from 12th century Prague and Vienna to late 20th century London and New York City in search of his humanity and his kidnapped love, the nun Aneska. All interactions with NPCs will be presented as cutscenes, something that is alien to all of us Elder Scrolls players, but is quite popular with action-adventure games like The Witcher and Kingdom Come Deliverance. Incredibly, the team has created this system where every conversation is presented from multiple angles and viewpoints. I love how the camera zooms slowly as the NPCs talk and how it suddenly switches to another view. This totally reminds me of BG3, where every conversation felt dynamic and interesting. Let's watch another cutscene made by the developers.
Need something?
I am newly returned from the silver mines. The evil therein is no more.
The warm light of the Lord surroundeth thee, Christoph. For thy deeds taketh thou the silver cross. Thou keepest it close, so it will protect thee from further evils.
I would hear all thou knowest of vampire lore, that I may fight them more wisely.
Pure evil and hatred. Further discussions shall bring about the corruption to thy soul and mine.
I thank thee. My heart warms to see the good people rejoice so. And yet, Niya's words chill me to the core. I fear that evil doth yet endure in Prague.
That was so atmospheric. Wow. Although some of those old English words amusingly always makes me chuckle. Thee, thy, thou, nay, surroundeth, keepest, knowest, takest. Medieval English is simply adorable. Now, I would like to ask you guys a question. What are your thoughts on this cutscene format for Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened? Personally, I feel it works best for key narrative moments rather than minor NPC interactions. But I'd love to hear your take. Also, would you like to see a similar cinematic style in future Elder Scrolls titles, or do you prefer the classic first-person dialogue perspective? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, as the player character is not a mute character, he will grunt during combat and also deliver some combat lines.
To the abyss with thee!
The team has overhauled the colors, the themes, and the font used in the UI systems. Currently, they are using Vanilla Skyrim UI, but Sky UI may be used in the future. Inventory lists, menu lists, the journal menu with quest details, map marker art, compass icons, the main HUD, and the Perk System UI have all been overhauled. They have worked on unique quest-specific icons that are shown in the quest journal. The team also uses on-screen pop-ups with infographics to explain certain concepts. Here are more of these infographics that explain the various mechanics in the game. Now, what do you guys think about the UI? I would prefer it if the team uses Sky UI as a base. The infinite scrolling system of Skyrim's vanilla UI is a bad choice in my opinion. It would be nice if they bundle in Sky UI just like Enderal. Enderal includes a built-in customized version of Sky UI, so you do not need to install the standalone Sky UI mod while playing it. Something like that can be done here as well, and I hope the team considers it. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. A small team of developers has also overhauled the faces of important NPCs, as you can see here. You see the faces of Ekaterina the Wise, Serena, and Christoph Romuald. The artists apparently cooperate with the writing team to create canonical faces for other important NPCs as well. The developers have remodeled or retextured weapons and jewelry that provide benefits to the player. They're also working on custom car models. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. You start the game in medieval times and then switch to the modern era as the story progresses. Thus you see some shots where your character is wandering in a modern city. And these car models are super cool. In Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened, an interesting weapon grip swapping mechanic brings dual functionality to combat. This design choice guarantees multiple tactile approaches for individual weapons. For instance, select hammers and axes feature double-edged construction paired with a crow's beak, allowing players to rotate the blade in-game for distinct tactical effects. Beyond functional versatility, altering a weapon's grip modifies its fundamental characteristics. For example, you can enable rapid attack speed over armor penetrating power depending on your weapon grip. The team has also implemented different types of damage that can be dealt with weapons. There is base damage, which is a universal type of damage that can be stopped with any kind of armor or shields. Then you have armor piercing damage, where a weapon omits any armor related defenses. Some weapon damage types can be resisted by supernatural beings. And finally, you can find weapons with aggravated damage types. These weapons are unstoppable by any natural or supernatural means and mess with the player's health bar, like radiation damage in Fallout 4. When enemies use a weapon with aggravated damage, the player's health bar is shown as a yellow portion eating into the red section from the right, as you can see here. Wow, these weapon mechanics that add additional damage types really make weapons interesting to me compared to vanilla Skyrim. Having multiple damage types will ensure tactical combat, as you have to choose a specific weapon with a particular damage type when facing certain enemies. I love that. I always liked facing enemies who use the Gamma gun in Fallout 4. It adds a unique type of danger where radiation was a threat rather than raw physical damage. It would be interesting to face enemies with aggravated damage weapons in Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened. Finally, the weapon grip swapping mechanic is a chef's kiss. Incredible work by the developers here. The team has also worked on an attribute system to increase the mechanical depth and offer more ways to improve your character apart from vitae, health and stamina. The developers told me there are 9 attributes. Strength improves the damage of melee and fists. Stamina improves damage resistance. Dexterity improves weapon speed. Wits improves offensive discipline or magic damage. Intelligence improves the amount of XP you gain each time a quest is completed. Perception improves your odds of looting an extra item in the containers, and it unlocks hidden secrets. Appearance decreases the range of masquerade violation if you feed in public. It is distance based. Charisma increases the chance that enemy sentient combatants just instantly flee upon the start of combat. Manipulation improves the price of sold items, makes purchasing cheaper. Weapon usage has attribute requirements, just like in Fallout New Vegas. Here you see a shield having strength requirements. If your character does not meet the requirements, he cannot equip it. The Crusader sword here has strength and dexterity requirements. Same with the simple bow. Pulling a bow requires strength, which makes a lot of sense. Historically, an English longbow required immense draw weights, and operating these heavy weapons demanded lifelong physical training. I like how intelligence results in more experience gained. This reminds me of Fallout again, where higher intelligence resulted in more skill points during level ups. Appearance is such a unique attribute. I love how the developers have added gameplay effects based on character looks. A shabby vampire who does not take care of his appearance and dresses badly can have a tough time protecting the masquerade. I really look forward to understanding how this works, and will get into the details in future videos. Other mechanics exist to monitor player choices that affect the humanity of the character. For instance, casting spells in public spaces triggers a masquerade violation alert. Furthermore, conduct such as theft, deception, murder, or slaying individuals while feeding negatively impacts your character's humanity rating. Interestingly, a vampire with an exceptionally high humanity rating can exhibit greater compassion than certain humans. Ultimately, guiding your protagonist's moral compass rests entirely in your hands. The development team has additionally included voice acting for books and notes. When you interact with any in-game note or book, you have the choice to read the text yourself or listen to the full narration.
Throat brother, Christoph. Moi vieni aus his house.
Thy fellow knights crushed the bestial Magyars who even now flee into the hills pursued by the Hospitallers. We plan to return to Prague after we establish a foothold.
Now let's check out the perk system of Vampire Masquerade Reawakened. As you can see, the perk UI is totally overhauled to have a vampiric theme. You no longer level up but gain experience. As you complete quests and activities, you gain experience points. This tree enables you to boost your attributes. Weapon, armor and certain dialogue checks will make use of attributes, so it's important to invest your experience points here. Next, we see skills like weapons, armor and stealth trees. You can specialize with ranged weapons, melee weapons and even hand-to-hand combat, which is cool. The armor skill tree has 3 branches: shields, armor and unarmored. It is so cool to see the unarmored skill if your character does not want to wear armor. This is so Morrowind and I love it. Looking at the stealth skill tree, the developer allocates experience points into several stealth perks. At the 4th level of each tree or branch, players can choose a specialization. Here you can apply your sneak abilities to specialize in fangs, bows or daggers. In the weapons skill, your character can choose a melee specialty, as you can see here. Specialization plays a vital role in RPGs and it's great to see this feature included. There are other interesting skills like celerity that have perks that enable you to slow time. The Auspex perk tree is used for playing with the minds of characters. Then you have perks for animalism and protean magic schools. Thaumaturgy has some interesting magic effects seen in the Elder Scrolls games like Light, Silence, and Absorb and more. Now in this clip, let's examine the demo of some magic effects and spells. Here is the Blood Feed spell. Drink the blood of your victim. Next you have Lure of Flames, Firebolt, a blast of fire dealing 35 aggravated damage. We earlier saw how weapons deal aggravated damage, and here is a spell. Next is Obfuscate, Mark of 1,000 Faces. Burn Vitae to assume your target's visage. Pretty interesting that you can disguise yourself using the face of a target. Next is Dominate Possession. Burn Vitae to take control of any human or vampire target. Use this ability again to return to your body. The developer casts the spell and now you control someone else. Pretty creepy. So the player character's body disappears now, I wonder if powerful vampire NPCs can do that to you, the player. That would make me insanely uncomfortable. Just imagine if another vampire controls you and takes you to the top of a tall building and then jumps. He then immediately relinquishes control of your body. What a brutal way to go. NPCs wielding this magic effects can be quite scary, and I wonder if it's implemented here. Now, our guy is back and not sure what happened here. Why did he die? Strange. Next, Auspex Psychic Projection. You project yourself into the spirit realm to explore. Oh wow, ghost ability added. This reminds me of the Blue Oblivion Night Eye magic effect. Haha. I assume you can't interact with objects or people in ghost mode? Fascinating. Next, Protean Earth Meld. Swiftly travel to a target enemy underground, damaging everyone in your path. The spell is cast and you instantly launch yourself towards the target at frightening speeds. That is so cool. Next is another spell from the Protean School of Magic, Shape of the Beast. Burn Vitae to take on the form of a beast. So you control a wolf. Haha, fun. Next is Lure of Flames, Firestorm. a 25-point fiery explosion centered on the caster. Next is animalism beckoning. Tame any animal to serve as your companion. So you cast that on an animal and it will fight for you. Very cool. Now he's a follower. Next is a spell from the Auspex School of Magic, Aura Perception. For 15 seconds, reveal the aura of nearby beings. What does that mean, aura? Some NPCs are highlighted here. Interesting. There you have it. The team has created some cool new magic effects not seen in Skyrim. And some of them are very creative and a lot of fun. Honestly guys, my mind is blown. A small team of passionate modders is focusing on RPG systems that rival many AAA studios. Wow! I usually don't play vampire games and was not interested in playing a game set in the modern era, and I avoid narrative story games with cutscenes. But with all of this incredible focus on RPG mechanics, I am sold. Oh, you must be wondering about the release date. The developers mentioned that the Prague episode of Vampire Masquerade Reawakened is expected to come out this December. The team has decided to opt for a modular release structure and will release episodes every year or two after the first release. I am deeply grateful to the project lead Galero and his commitment to openness and transparency through frequent updates on his YouTube channel. Other modding projects such as Beyond Skyrim could learn a lot from his approach and should speak about their projects more openly. They ought to take note of how consistently Galero communicates and highlights the team achievements over the course of the year. Furthermore, having the majority of the project documentation accessible for public reading sets a phenomenal benchmark. This exceptional level of communication and openness displayed by the Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened team serves as a valuable blueprint for any modding project. My sincere thanks go out to Galero and the entire team. From now on, I will start to cover this project regularly and plan to do a deep dive into the mechanics sometime. Now, are you guys excited? Will you install this mod this December if it comes out? Do share your thoughts in the comments and I shall see you soon on another Vampire the Masquerade Reawakened update.